Screw high school.
All right, Mike and Jeff, but that's good enough for me.com. We're doing our Who Zoom and Who series. I'm joined with Mikey and Michael of Mikey and his uke, and Randy from Pennywise. How are you guys all doing?
Great.
Doing very well. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us the time today. I've been a fan of Mikey and his uke project, and like a lot of thrown together YouTube content and stuff that happened during COVID and quarantine, it was something that I looked forward to. I subscribed to it. It reminded me of the before times, before Netflix and on-demand shit, when you actually look forward to something every week, right? So thank you so much for your videos. Mikey, I'm just going to get started right away. How did the project become what it is?
It started with just not knowing what to do when COVID struck, and every one of my gigs got canceled. And I started just really by accident. I just posted a video of me playing a cover of the Bad Religion song "Infected" with my ukulele one night, and I posted it on Facebook. And I posted it at midnight, or actually it was later than that. But in the next morning when people woke up, it was there. And people seemed to get a kick out of it. So I just decided to do another one the next night, another one the next night. And long story short, I did 100 in a row. And over that time, I just started asking other people to kind of, if they wanted to collaborate. And the big kind of epic videos that we do now, they started right near the end. Number 97, we did a cover of an Operation Ivy song. We did Unity, and it had Chris from Less Than Jake. It had Angelo from Fishbone. And then for the 100th video, we wanted to do something really special. And that's when we covered Bro Him and had Randy play bass on that one, and Scott from Pulley. It had Chris from Anti-Flag. We had a bunch of people on that one. Noodles was on that one. So yeah, it was really cool.
That's awesome. And, Jeff and I kind of started this series around the same time, and we're fucking nobodies, right? So I'm like cyberbullying artists' personal Instagram accounts. Like, hey, dude, if this is annoying, tell me to fuck off. But what was really great is that everybody that came and talked, everybody's sitting on their hands, right? So it was like kind of, people were more accessible, I think, than they normally would be on the road.
This series never would have happened if it wasn't for COVID. That's for sure. Like everyone would have been on the road and playing and touring, and but musicians are just people that want to play, and this was kind of an opportunity to keep playing for a lot of people. So yeah, it worked out really well.
It was an adaptation. What did Jesse from Days and Days? I got to interview him. He was like my second interview. I didn't know how to talk to humans at that time yet. But he kept calling like live streams and YouTube videos as like, he said, these tiny little shots of adrenaline, to just like keep you from killing your family.
You can't stop creative people. You can't stop creative people from being creative. It's just they're gonna figure out a way.
That's great. And yeah, Michael, let's move on to you and your role in this.
I'm just a dude that lives in Toronto who loves making music videos and taking photos. And I know Mikey because my band and his band have played a bunch of shows back around Toronto back in the day. And I don't exactly remember how it happened, but I remember watching, I think it was like, I watched one of his videos, like, I watched a bunch of them, but eventually I was like, hey man, you should let me edit one of your videos because I'm bored as hell. I don't know if we can swear, but yeah, I'm bored as hell. Okay, I'm bored as fuck. He edit one of your videos. So he's like, cool, yeah, I got this idea for a music video for a song called Unity with a whole bunch of people. Why don't you put it together? And I was like, sure. And then it just went from there. Basically, I've done all of them since. Yeah. All the big ones I've done.
When you're like, when you party a little bit too hard and then like 2 days later, you like smell a certain smell and you like butterfly effect, have a seizure and remember like a whole bunch of shit you forgot. Just sitting here talking, I've realized how many episodes that I actually watched that I didn't remember watching.
Yeah.
And so he's like labeling them by name. I saw the Infected one. I must have watched it right when it went viral. So that's super awesome.
It's funny. It's funny that you say viral because I don't actually think that. like from my perspective, it's like we put in a whole lot of hard work, and we kept pushing things out, and we eventually got noticed. It wasn't like, to me, that's how it was to me. It wasn't like one video just exploded and all of a sudden people knew who we are. That's what I'm trying to say. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday though, Michael and I were taking a look at just some of the numbers, and the cover we did of Bonzo Goes to Bitbird, it's over like 340,000 views. And that's crazy to actually think of how many people have watched that video. And it literally just started from some stupid little thing out of boredom in my bedroom. So it's really cool how it's evolved. That's for sure.
Now, Randy, I wanted to talk to you just about, did you seek these guys out? Did they ask you to come play bass on a song?
Well, I've met Mikey. Mikey's come to a couple Pennywise shows over the years. And I'm playing in punk rock karaoke with Darrin, and Darrin's, playing drums on a lot of these videos. So Mikey called and asked if I wanted to do the Broham one. And I figured it'd be hard learning it. Yeah, no, it sounded fun. I honestly, though, I didn't know actually at first. I was it sounded fun, but I was like, I don't know. How is this going to turn out? It can't be good. It's like everyone's, using their iPhones, and I was really impressed with how well they did it. And like I was saying earlier, the mixes are great. The editing's great. They look really, really cool. So I was super stoked on it. And the whole chorus of woes, like all the different people that were singing that, it's really an amazing version of Broham. Yeah. So so then when he asked me to do, the Prince one or any other ones, I'm super, super into it. So I'm happy to be part of it. Yeah.
We're looking forward to singing those woes live, right, Mikey? When Pennywise runs through Toronto.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's killer. I love that. And to kind of branch off of that, to either of the mics, has anybody, like, how many people have actually just like reached out to you, like, hey, I want to be in one of these?
I get a lot. I get a lot of messages to the Mikey and his Uke Facebook and Instagram, and it's really cool. Like some of them have definitely come on. There's some upcoming ones that are from people that fully reached out to me, and they were some pretty big name people too. So yeah, it was really cool. Hey,
we got Darrin.
Ooh, where do you go?
Everyone clap when he comes in.
He's joining us. That's what that turkey bell was.
It's because I texted him.
Oh,
I think we all texted.
He just called me and I just ignored it, so I knew he was close by. Something's happening.
15 minutes. That's a new record.
That's wild.
There he is. He's out back having a soda pop. What'd you do to your thumb? Can you speak?
Oh, hello, Darrin.
I am a man.
Hi, Darrin.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I was going to tell you, Darrin. I was super excited. So the last time you and I talked on Zoom, you were a little late, and it was okay. And Ed from Zebrahead didn't really care, but you were like my world record, like latest guest for a long time. And I interviewed Decent Criminal a week or two ago, and they were like 35 minutes later or something like that. So you are no longer reigning champion.
I know.
You need to sit down or something.
What were you doing, Dan?
I was masturbating.
Oh, important.
Oh man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you're not in Megadeth. You'd get fired.
That's why you had to put the Band-Aid on the thumb.
Blisters.
Randy, you look good, Randy. You look sharp.
Oh, thanks, bud. I put that. There's a filter. It says enhance your video, and I put it on because that's what's important. I really want to look good. I put a lot of effort into it. You can tell.
Your beard is so sharp. It's like very white but dark in here.
Fletcher calls me Skinny Santa Claus.
That's good.
When he's not calling me old man or monkey paw.
Monkey paw.
Monkey paw is
anyway,
grandpa.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Yeah.
It's not like me to be late. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's fine, bud. How? We'll move right on to you then. How have you been doing, man? I know you've been super busy.
I'm busy drinking.
Yeah, me too.
You drinking right now?
Yeah, I've had a couple of pops.
It's 10 o'clock here. It's okay.
Yeah. So moving on from where we were, and it's perfect that you're here now, Darrin. I wanted to talk, Mikey, about the Dookies, your Green Day cover band.
Yeah.
How long has this been a thing, and how often do you guys get together and do this sort of thing?
Darrin, I think it was like 2011, 2012 we started that. Does that sound right? And then you moved back to LA. And so then it just turned into a once a year, basically, we would get together and play shows. Does that sound right?
The Dookies, you mean?
Yeah.
I moved back to Toronto in 2012. No, wait. I moved to Los Angeles in 2012.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, you know what happened with the Dookies was it was a situation where me and Mikey and our friend Matt got together just to see if we could play the Dookie record all the way through, just for fun. We're at Gibson Studios in Toronto, a place I worked. I had to keep full PA backline, and we got there and we just jammed. Uh-oh. Sorry. I got a text. My apologies. So we got there and we would just rehearse the songs all the way through the Dookie record, just for fun, just for laughs. We had a couple drinks and we just would have a lot of fun as friends. And then we were like, hey, we got through Dookie. Why don't we get some other songs on some of the other records just for fun? And then next thing you know, over the course of 2 or 3 or 4 rehearsals, we had like 40 songs of Green Day songs that were like really well done, well rehearsed, tight. So we're like, why don't we play some shows? The whole thing of the Dookies was not to play shows. It was just to have some fun with some friends. Next thing you know, we're playing Rockfest in Quebec in front of 40,000 people.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm glad that you guys are such fans of just like having fun and just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. I think that shows in the Mikey and you videos.
Well,
as well.
It really spawned from the love of music in general, getting together with friends, playing songs that you know, in this case, Green Day, and having a lot of laughs, having a couple beers and having just hey, let's play, Welcome to Paradise. And we'd play the whole record, start to finish. And then we started playing shows and people showed up and they were like, we want to hear these songs. Thank you for playing these shows. And it wasn't about the money or about, financial gain. It was about really fun. That was the underlining theme of everything. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
We love Green Day. We love the early Green Day. We love the Green Day of Dookie and Insomniac and Nimrod and beyond. But we just loved hanging out and having fun.
Yeah.
So Jeff is
sure. And we've definitely taken that mentality to Mikey and his uke too. Like all the songs that we pick for Mikey and his uke are just songs that we actually love, and like just keep going with that too. It's the same thing. Yeah, just love playing music and having fun doing it.
That's great. Now, just out of irony, Jeff is editing a story for our site that's me and 2 of the other writers like picked a Green Day record and we're like ride or die, like fighting about it. Mm-hmm. So I picked Insomniac. Someone picked Warning and someone picked Dookie, and we're all like cursing at each other in it. But
you're the one cursing at everyone else. Because as you said,
no, it's because I'm fucking right.
Because you said you were drunk the whole time you were responding to everyone. I think that's what it was. So that actually aired today and posted today at 5 p.m. Eastern time on that'sgoodenougghforme.com.
Okay, well, I'll check it out and see if I want.
Warning is Green Day's Saint Anger.
All right, no more Green Day talk. That was perfect. All right.
I'd be curious to find out what Randy's favorite Green Day album is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like what was it? American Idiot. I'm sorry, but that's the one. I don't like Dookie.
No?
Like even
Oh
when
my
Dookie
God.
came out,
I don't like Dookie.
You're dead to me, Randy. You're
Yeah,
dead to me.
I was just, as a matter of fact, I was listening to Warning today. That was like a sleeper. I never even bothered to listen to it, and over the last couple of years, I've heard it, and I like that a lot. There's some great songs. It's mellow. 21st Century Breakdown. So American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown. The production on those albums is untouchable.
Can you tell me what is it about Dookie you don't like?
I can't put my finger on it. I've been into punk rock since, I was 15 or 16 years old. And I thought, when that album came out, it was pretty cool. And there's really good songs. I'm not a huge fan of the production. It's kind of, it was one of the first songs. I don't think that they knew it was going to be as big as it was. So it just was like, it's just like the Offspring's first, not their first album, but their album that went big. It's not great production.
Smash,
right. So I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I just don't. There's something about it that bugs me. I couldn't listen to Dookie over and over and over again.
Right.
But I had to. It was on the radio.
Were you one of the people that 86 Green Day from Gilman Street when they kind of sold out? No.
I never went. First, okay, two things. I never went to Gilman Street, but I've also never cared. My idea of what selling out is when you're doing a thing and this is what you do good and this is what you love to do, and then someone offers you money or a record deal, and so you change your sound and you change your look and all that. So I don't think that that applies to any punk rock bands, really, because the record labels came to the punk rock bands. They said, we want you to do your thing. So I never cared about Green Day being on a major label or the Offspring or anybody. So that's never bothered me. And as a matter of fact, if it wasn't for major labels, none of us would know about punk rock, because the Sex Pistols and every band from England was,
Okay, so not a fan of Dookie. Did you like Nirvana Nevermind?
I loved it. That saved music. At the time, in the late 80s, it was all horrible glam hair metal bands. Like punk rock had evolved into some weird thing. And that basically, punk rock went away. So out in LA, punk rock kind of just disappeared. There was a lot of gang stuff happening. So all the gigs were just basically big gang brawls, and that was part of it. But a lot of stuff happened and it just faded away and got replaced with a lot of metal-ish, just junk. And when Nevermind came out, it was like the next morning, every glam rock band was gone and it was real music again. I loved that album. Love it. And the production's great. Now I listen to it and it sounds like half the songs are unfinished, but still it's a lot of genius on there, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry, Mike, I'm taking over your podcast here.
Yeah, we're taking this over here.
If your name is Mike, you're allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Now that we have Randy's take, I think we should let him listen to us talk about the Pennywise record without Jim on it.
Without Jim?
It's a great album. He loves it.
I actually
great album.
Just fucking with you.
Talk about it.
Randy, can I just say, Randy wrote most of the songs.
Oh, killer!
Well, okay. I don't want to be I don't want to make it sound like that, but yeah, I wrote like a lot more songs than normal, and Fletcher and I worked on a lot of songs together. It was really cool. Now that we're talking, Jim's a singer. He's the only legit singer of the band. We did what we could at the time, and so I'm really happy. I loved it, but I didn't like that Jim was gone, so I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm happy Jim's back, but I got to say, sonically and like audio engineer wise, I think that is your best sounding record in a variety of ways. And
are you drinking? Are you drinking alcohol?
He's got a claw. He's got a white claw.
I thought you said you were weaning yourself off of them.
Yeah, weaning.
Oh.
This has like a little bit of bourbon in it.
Before we switch topics, though, I do want to say Ignite is a really great band too, and they're to me they sound kind of like old Offspring.
I love Ignite. Calling My Brothers is an amazing album.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Sorley can sing.
And Darrin, I listened to your Dangerous Darrin record. It's on YouTube, right? Like somebody uploaded it. And
I apologize.
No. So I thought about this when I found out you were going to be joining these guys. You have a song called "Bands Whose Albums I Will Never Listen to or Purchase" or something like that.
Correct. Yep.
And it's just some like chunky riffs with you just shouting names of bands that I agree with you like 97%. I think like when you say Hole, I hate Hole, I fucking hate Hole. I wanted to know if maybe you could give us like a 3-band updated version of that.
Okay, so you want me to add on? You want me to add on to the bands I would never purchase?
It's an epilogue.
It's been a long time since '99 or whenever that came out.
That's actually a really good question. How would I expand on that?
You got music in the background already.
I think Mikey went to take a piss.
That's fine.
I would say number one, the Fairmounts.
Come on.
Number one would be the Fairmounts. One record I would never ever purchase.
What a dick.
Number 2 would be the Fairmounts.
Yeah.
And number 3 would be guess what? The Fairmounts.
Fairmounts, yeah.
We have an updated version. Does Pepsi Cola still suck?
I don't like Pepsi. I really think Pepsi is horrible. It's not good. It's not tasty.
Yeah, it's
Do
gross.
any of the guys in this call know what I'm asking?
I don't like cola in general.
don't.
But if I was going to drink a cola, it would be Pepsi. I'm sorry, Coca-Cola.
It's like my mom, like for some reason she never wanted to drink Coke. So when I was growing up, like she'd always just get Pepsi, and I was like, "What the fuck, mom?" You know. But like, I
just want a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi.
I just want a Pepsi. Yeah. So like, I got used to it. Like, it's not bad for me anymore, but it's probably like my mind blocking out the fact that
Pepsi tastes
very
like
good.
sugar. It's just like sugar water. It's so sugary.
Yeah. Just for some reason, my mom was like, never Coke. Literally, like she was like, never Coke, and I'm like, I don't want to go.
You're never a Coker, like a never Trumper.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like, but when I would go out as a kid, like my friends, like sleep over, they're like, "Would you like a Coke?" I'm like, "Yes, please."
I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna defer, if I will, to Randy Bradbury. Randy, what is more punk, Pepsi or Coke?
Well, if you ask like that, in the early East Coast scene, they all drank Pepsi. Brian Baker has a Pepsi tattoo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But so the difference between my mom had a boyfriend that drank Pepsi, and I hated him and I hate Pepsi and Pepsi and Pepsi doesn't have like, it's not as carbonated as Coke. I like stuff to like burn I want to get punished when I drink some whatever carbonated beverage. It's got to like make your nose, fizz and all that stuff.
And
so
burp.
Pepsi doesn't, right. Pepsi doesn't do that. Pepsi is.
Can you guys see me right here? If you refer to the Minor Threat 7-inch, you'll notice Brian Baker's sitting on a Pepsi box right there.
Dude, that's just too much, dude. That's like fucking obsession.
Well, that's actually an upside down Pepsi box, which makes it punk.
So Randy, if I have to ask, were you a Jolt guy then?
It's like an upside down cross.
I did back. I did have some Jolts.
Twice the sugar
I think
and all the
pretty
caffeine.
much. What's that?
Twice the sugar and all the caffeine.
Yeah, those were great. That was in the 80s, late 80s, early. I pretty much tried everything by then. So
before Red Bull came to Canada, like Red Bull didn't come to Canada until like 97, 98. All we had was Jolt. So it was just we'd just drink Jolt.
Crusty,
yes.
I got a great story to tell you. Goldfinger played the base of the CN Tower once for a Edge event. And we played, and it was really cold that night. It was rainy, and it was a tent outside the base of the CN Tower. So, like, maybe like 200 people showed up inside this tent. It was fine, whatever. But the loadout, everyone moved our gear towards the bus and the trailer. And I opened up the bay of the bus, and we were like, one of our sponsors was Red Bull. We had cases in the bays. I'm talking about several cases of Red Bull. And they open up the bay, and these guys, these local loaders in 96, 97 were like, "You have Red Bull?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." They're like, "We don't have it here. It's not allowed."
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, that's kind of fucked up." They're like, "Can I have one?" I go, "You guys can have as much as you want." And they took the whole crate.
Oh, wow.
And literally, they were crying. Tears were coming out of their eyes. They're like, "This is like magic to us. Thank you, Goldfinger,
Wow.
for giving us Red Bull."
So Nebraska.
And no. This is where the story gets better. Years later, we went to CFNY and we played a thing inside 228 Yonge Street, inside the Edge Studios. And people came up to us and said, "Hey, I was at your CN Tower show, and I got a 6-pack of Red Bull, and that changed my life." And I go, "What do you mean to change your life?" They're like I milked that 6-pack for a month. I sipped it like it was whiskey.
I thought you were going to say he started digging through the carpet and then he just decided to.
And I'm like, "It's Red Bull. Like, it's not whiskey. It's fucking Red Bull." So like, "Yeah, but we don't like. It's coveted. It's really coveted here." It was. I'm like, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Fucking Canada.
So since Nebraska, like Nebraska and Texas, like Bible Belt areas of the United States are like, we're really prone to marketing ideas and people testing new products in my state. So we get like weird Doritos flavors that you don't hear of because they taste like, but there was like a much cheaper Red Bull alternative called Wild Buzz that came in these little 1 liter plastic bottles. And we used to mix them with vodka and get fucked up. And then we had some just like really the most terrible hangovers we had ever had. I remember a night that I spent like out in the cold breathing and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And finally one day we read the bottle and it was like, "Don't consume more than 8 ounces in 24 hours or something." And it was this like 24-ounce bottle.
Oh.
And then it just disappeared one day, when the marketing thing was done. Never heard of it again.
Speaks a lot.
So,
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the construction of the punk rock karaoke videos at all?
Oh, we did that before he got here. But I was going to jump off from Jeff talking about his mom. I was going to talk to Mikey about his mom's feature on your website. I wanted you to plug that.
Oh, well, hang on. Darrin, what did you want to know about, or what do you want to talk about with punk rock karaoke? I'm curious to hear what you're about to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Mikey. I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
You know what, guys? On a side note, I just want to kiss Mikey.
I hate the Fairmounts, but I love Mikey.
Oh yeah.
So gross.
Give me some, Mikey. Give me some.
I am not doing that. My screen is filthy.
Is this what happens in punk rock karaoke when you guys get together?
Yes, it does.
Randy, no comment. Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
So when the pandemic happened, I was like, "Hey, why don't we just take a video and make one video? Let's make one video. See what happens." And it came together fast with what was the first one?
New
Randy,
Rose.
New Rose.
New Rose with Monkey.
With Monkey. And then week number 2, number 3, and week number 3, or it just kind of snowballed. And here we are at like week 60. Now we're coming to the end of it. Like we're really done. We're kind of done with it. But what a journey it has been to put together these videos. And I got to say, on a side note, as a drummer, I am so lucky to have a guy like Randy Bradbury, who is an incredible bass player. Fantastic.
Love it.
Rock solid bass player. Not only a rock solid bass player, but a guy with a studio and who also does backup vocals. So it's like win, 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 win. So I say, Randy, we're going to do blah, blah, blah. He goes, done. He sends me the audio. It's a great bass track. A little bit gainy, if I might add. A little bit gainy. I got to bring the gain down. But nevertheless, it's just pro. And then we basically have to fight Stan Lee and Greg Hetson to get me the guitars, to get to my friend Dave Collette, who is in a band called Sweet and Tender Hooligans, a Smiths and Morrissey cover band, who mixes everything. And week by week, it just happened organically. And there was been a couple close calls where like, hey, we're not sure this is going to happen. We might have to skip a week. And then by the miracle of musical, science, it just happened. The last minute on a Friday night before Saturday, or a Thursday night before Friday, Greg would give me his tracks, or Stan would give me his tracks, or the vocalist would be like, hey, here's my video and audio. Are we cool? And I go to David Collette and say, hey, let's mix this really fast. And boom, Saturday morning, Friday morning, there was a video. And it just kind of snowballed, just like Mikey and his uke.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, it was a ukulele video, but then it kind of morphed into something bigger and better, which is what it is now.
Yeah.
And it's just, we look back now, Mikey, as a bro, and I love you as a friend. I look back on this and I'm like, wow, we really created great content.
Yeah.
That really helped people through this pandemic. I get messages all the time, man. People like, hey, your videos were great. Mikey and his uke, punk rock karaoke. You helped me through. Every week, I look forward to Friday. I look forward to when Mikey would drop his video. I look forward to these videos because it gave me something to look forward to. And you think about it, and you think, yeah, sorry, I got a call coming. So you look about it and you think, this is something we did creatively as a musician. And sorry.
Yeah.
You look about it and you think, this is something we did for fun. And it was really cool. But it really impacted a lot of people in the world, not just North America or Canada or the United States or Mexico, but the world. People in France, Australia, Japan are messaging me like, your videos are carrying me through this pandemic. Every week, we're getting a punk rock karaoke video. Every couple of days, we're getting a new Mikey, and every couple of weeks, we're getting a new Mikey and his uke video. And that made me go, okay, this is not just a fun project musically for me to get involved with to kill my time. This is something that's actually helping people, real people in the world, get through this problem, this bullshit that it's going through. And that really was the most rewarding part of it all.
Fuck yeah. No, absolutely. And I said that at the beginning. It reminded me of like looking forward to Friday night television, looking forward to like syndicated television the way that it used to be before Netflix and shit like that. Just kind of this itching feeling like all week, like, oh, there's going to be another punk rock karaoke video. There's going to be another Mike and his uke. I need that. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you. Thank you both for those two projects.
I was. Are you guys actually thinking about closing it down pretty soon, Darrin? I think that you guys could keep going even when things open back up.
Yeah.
What's happening?
A video coming up not tomorrow, because schedules. You got 5 people. You got the band and then one singer with my busted thumb.
Yeah.
And it's hard to align these schedules. Sometimes it works out and you're really stoked. Other times it doesn't work out and you're like, okay, let's just delay it. And you make a funny ad mat and you put it out there and people are like, oh, okay, one more day. But next week we're going to have the singer from Sweet and Tender Hooligans, which is a Smiths and Morrissey cover band, do a Devo song.
Yeah, cool.
I think the thing with it now, the videos are awesome, super fun to do. And like, for me, just going back to the lockdowns and pandemic, whatever, it unexpectedly gave a sense of purpose. You know, it was really has turned out to be something super cool. The thing about it now, which is good and bad, about the videos, is everything's starting to open back up. Mm-hmm. Everyone's getting busy, and it's harder to just make it happen. So, yeah. And plus we, you know, at some point it's like we've done so much. We don't even have a whole lot of songs left. So,
yeah, that's one thing that I think the Mikey and his uke, I guess the only advantage is there's no like song list to choose from. You know what I mean? We just kind of pick whatever we want, where punk rock karaoke was mostly going from the list that you guys would play at your gigs.
I think we'll keep doing them, but not on a weekly basis. Like when it comes together and it seems like, hey, we got this is going to be cool. Let's do this. I think everyone is super into doing that still. So
my absolute favorite one that you guys did was the Will Wheaton one. That was amazing.
Dead Kennedy, the Dead Kennedys one.
He killed it.
That was so great.
Yep. He did a great job.
I wanted to ask, I can ask Darrin and Crusty about this. I wanted to talk, Darrin, you were kind of talking about, you know, you guys hassling each other to get your tracks to each other. Did you have an order of operations? Like, did you always do your drum tracks first? Or was it just like whoever the fuck submitted to a click? Or how did you guys throw each of them together?
Darrin? For Mikey and his uke, it's always drums first. Mm-hmm. I always get the drums from Darrin or whoever's playing drums for that track. There's been a couple of different drummers, but I want to say 90% of it has been Darrin. I'll get the track and we'll put a quick mix together of the track and we'll send it off to the bass player. And once we have like a foundation of the drums and the bass, and then we'll send it to, you know, all the guitar players and keyboardists or whatever. And then once it's all finished and done, then we'll send it to whoever's singing the song so that they feel most comfortable singing to like the full band instead of just one guitar and a drum set or whatever. But it always starts with Darrin playing either to a click or to the track. I think I'm not too sure exactly what he's got in his cans.
Yeah, there were a few songs that were to a click, and they were playing along to a track.
Yeah,
and I told the producer, like, look, I played along to the track, so that's kind of the click.
Yeah, and we also have to give like big props to our mixer master guy, Steve Risen. He's the guy on our team that does like the reason they all sound as amazing as they sound is Steve. Crusty makes them all look amazing, and he would help put everything together and stuff like that, the tracks, but Steve's the one that really mixes and masters and makes the audio sound as big as it does.
They sound great.
Yeah. Andy and Mikey and everybody, this whole thing has brought us more closer together as a punk rock community, as a musical community. Like when we get together at a festival now in the future, let's say a year, 2 years down the road, it's not going to be like, hey, I think I know you. It's going to be hugs and kisses. Hey, we were part of this great journey on video with Mikey and his uke or punk rock karaoke. Hey, we're now family. It's not just like, it's just, we're fucking family now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's something really special for sure.
The testament of, you know, the word DIY.
Now, I remember when I called Randy Bradbury and said, hey, Randy, I got this band. It's called Punk Rock Karaoke. We're fucking a bunch of idiots. And we play a bunch of stupid punk rock songs. And, you know, we play a couple shows and it's kind of stupid. You want to join? He goes, well, you know, maybe. And I go, yeah, I said, well, listen, it's your call. But when you're not busy with Pennywise and you got some downtime, there's a couple shows that bring up. You make a little bit of money. And in punk rock karaoke, we play, and the crowd are the singers. They are the ones that come up on stage and get there and they play and they sing. And sometimes it's great, other times it's not. But I'm always there to kind of help the singer get back on track. And it's just every show where we play it's not scripted. It is it's a clean canvas.
Yeah, anything can happen.
And
sure.
I know with I don't know about Pennywise, but with Goldfinger, every time we played, it was a canvas. We knew what was happening, start to finish. And it was stale, and it was bland, and it was predictable, and it was boring. And before I walked on stage, I'm like, this sucks. I'm playing the show. This sucks. I walk off stage. That was horrible. Not with Punk Rock Karaoke. Sometimes.
Hey, Randy, when you joined Punk Rock Karaoke, how many songs did you have to learn, and how many did you already have like in your pocket?
Okay, so I thought I knew almost all of them because you've heard them all. I'm like, I know that. I'll know that. And then I started playing along with them, and I'm like, wow, okay, it's got this weird part here. Oh, it's got that note. And so I realized that I didn't know hardly as much as I thought I did. And then when you're not playing along with the actual track, and you're on your own in a club with just the guys and a singer that doesn't really know the song, it gets pretty sketchy. Luckily, it is all about having fun, and so I had a learning curve at first, but now what I did is that I just put the songs on and played with them. I didn't try to memorize anything. I just played them over and over and over again, because your fingers will, you get that muscle memory, and it all kind of comes together. So I knew it would come together, luckily, but it was like 80 songs, something like that.
Yeah. And there's a couple songs off of Dookie on there that now I'm going to watch for every time you have to play them.
Well, here's the interesting thing about that, or I think it's interesting, is that the bass, like, you think you know a song until you really dig in and try to figure it out. And even when we recorded these for Punk Rock Karaoke, I realized when I listened back to the Dookie version, I'm like, I missed that note. I missed that note. So Mike Dirnt is actually, well, they're all great. They're all really great. You really get an appreciation for how good these players are in all the bands. And I think that it's helped me. It's made me better, because now I've learned all these different parts, and so But learning all those songs was it was pretty challenging, and I knew that it was going to be hard. So when Darrin was talking to me about it, he said, it's the funnest band, and you're going to have fun. And I was like, this is going to be I knew how much work it was going to be, because I don't like, I don't like half-assing anything. I don't care what we're doing. We're playing in a backyard somewhere. I'm going to do the best I can. So I kept trying to think, like, how can I say no? Because I was, okay, not for any other reason than just me being comfortable and lazy, because Pennywise is just, I know the gig, and I haven't had to do anything super hard, honestly, for years and years. So I was like, man, how can I say no? And I couldn't think of one reason to say no. It was all yes. Like, in my head, I was thinking about it. I was like, yes, do it. And I'm like, fuck, I got to do all this work. So I'm so happy. It's really turned out to be a really awesome, fun.
And Randy?
Yeah.
Like, Stan Lee raves about you.
Oh, he does.
He loves you. And so does Greg, and I love you too.
Well, I love you guys too.
You're the fucking unicorn. You're the unicorn. This band. And saved us. Because if it wasn't for you, Randy, I'd be playing bass, and Derek O'Brien would be playing drums.
Well, I think it was just meant to be. Steve Soto asked me to play some gigs years and years ago. And Steve's got me to do a few things over the years. So I kind of think, sometimes things just happen the way they're supposed to. And it feels really, feels great. Like we're doing the right thing. So, maybe there's a little.
Randy, I never asked you, and I can't believe I never asked you this. What was your relationship like with Steve Soto?
Well, to me, okay, first of all, way back in 1980 or whatever it was, whenever I first started going to shows, I used to go see the Adolescents. If the Adolescents.
By the way, hold on. Before any of the guys on this Zoom were born.
No,
I was born.
No.
Yeah, we're all born.
Well, I was well into a bunch of shenanigans by that time, but yeah. So I used to go see the Adolescents. The Blue album was one of my absolute favorite albums ever. So Steve, to me, was always kind of, I can't shake it when there's someone that I kind of basically put on a pedestal, or I think of them in a higher light. Like, this is the guy in that band. So he's always been like this kind of an icon to me, and he was always very accessible in the Orange County scene. I used to go see his band Joyride. I knew him good. He was in, I'd talk to him, see him in clubs, always say hi. Yeah, but
Jack.
What's that? Yeah, he was in a band with Jack, and then I was in that band with him. So I always said hi, always talked to him, knew him. We knew each other well, mostly though through the club scene, and we had we had so many mutual friends and everything. I even played shows in Manic Hispanic too. That was what Steve.
Wow.
Cool. So I knew him well. I mean, we didn't go hang out, much. I mean, because if I hung out with everyone that I know well through the club scene, then I wouldn't even have time for music. But I really loved Steve, and I appreciate what he was just a really super rad dude. Smart, all that, all the stuff you've heard.
Randy, I remember when I first got the call from Greg Hudson. He calls me, and I'm on the 405 freeway. I never forget it. I'm on the 405 driving in traffic, and he calls me and goes, hey, Greg, what's up? Do you want to play a punk rock karaoke gig? I'm like, yeah, I can probably learn some songs. What's up? He goes, no, I need you to be in I think I need you to be in the band. Oh, yeah. What's going on with Derek O'Brien? He goes, I'll explain later, but can you do it? And I go, yeah, sure. He's like, I'll send you 75 songs. Can you learn them? And I go, I know most of them. Yeah. So he sent me the list. And the first thing, by the way, the song list was like, okay, I know half of these. But some of them I had to sit down and actually learn. But anyway, that aside, the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm in a band with Greg Hudson. Finally, I get to be in a band with a guy who loves hockey, loves punk rock, a guy I've known forever. This is going to be great. The second thing that happened really quickly, I'm talking about a millisecond later, was, oh my God, I'm going to be in a band with fucking Steve Soto. I mean, Greg Hudson, half a second later, Steve Soto. And I'm driving, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be in a band with Steve Soto. Finally, I'm going to be the drummer in a band that Steve Soto is in a band with. And I'm driving on like, this is fucking crazy. I call my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm going to be in a band with Steve Soto. She goes, who's Steve Soto?
She's no longer my girlfriend.
I'm like, we're done. Get your shit out of my house. So, and I remember the first rehearsal, and I never met Stan Lee. And I was like, okay, Stan Lee is a legend from the Dickies. I get it. I walk in, I'm like, hey, Stan, nice to meet you. And I see Steve, and I knew Steve from Warped Tours, and he managed Flogging Molly and tour managed Flogging Molly, and he was always the guy that was at the Warped Tour. But when I was in a room with him, he was like, hey, Darrin, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Let's jam some songs. And the whole time I'm like, how is this happening? How am I in a band with this fucking guy? It was really surreal. But then after rehearsal 2, rehearsal 3, rehearsal 4, it settled in that I was in the band. And there was one show, we played a series of shows in Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver. And Stanley and Greg flew from Portland to Los Angeles. And me and Steve Soto drove from Portland, Oregon, in a van with gear to San Francisco airport to fly home. We talked the whole time. There was never, ever silence. We talked about Joyride. We talked about 22 Jacks. We talked about the Adolescents. We talked about Agnew's. We talked about family. We talked about, oh my God, it was nonstop for 9 hours straight. We talked about punk rock. We talked about family, punk rock karaoke, Greg, Stan. I mean, it was unbelievable. This guy. And when he left us, it really left a mark, not just on my life, but musical, not just punk rock. Okay, everyone knows that Steve Soto is a punk rock legend, but he was a musical legend. He didn't play punk rock. He played music. He played acoustic songs with Kevin Seconds. He released solo material. He released pop songs with 22 Jacks. He was a machine. Steve Soto was a machine of musical brilliance. And that's, I believe, what ultimately led to his downfall. He was a 8-day-a-week guy. 8 day a week. He did not stop. Constant touring, constant recording, constant playing shows with friends, punk rock karaoke, Adolescents, Kevin Seconds. The list goes on and on. He grinded.
Yeah.
And
I first met him when he was playing. I met him when he was playing with CJ Ramon.
Yeah, when you look at the life of Steve Soto and you look at the ultimate end that he met, you got to kind of sort of tip your hat and go, he died doing what he loved. The night before he died, he was in the studio recording music, recording songs for a demo, a bunch of songs. And then he went home and then quietly passed in his sleep. So you gotta tip your hat to that. He died doing what he loved, performing and recording and being an entertainer. So not a day goes by that I don't think about him, and it fucking sucks that he's gone.
Yeah.
Well, on the subject of musical legends, I wanted to ask everybody if they had kind of a white whale in regards to Mikey and his uke or punk rock karaoke. An artist that you would just kill to work with in these projects. I guess Randy, I'll start with you.
I don't know why you started with me because nothing comes to mind.
He's like, fuck you, Mike.
It's all so spontaneous. It's all it's spontaneous, and yeah, after we're done, I'll go, fuck, why didn't I say this? But yeah,
we'll loop back around. We'll loop back around.
We'll loop around. We'll go to Crusty.
I got nothing.
I'll say Miley Cyrus because that would be pretty badass. She's a great singer.
Lady Gaga, because I know Lady Gaga likes metal, and if you like metal, you like punk. So
no, that's not true. There's so many. Okay, you're right. There's a lot of people that love punk that hate metal, but I think you're right. A lot of people that love metal also love punk.
I bet you if you sat down with Lady Gaga and said, "What's your favorite punk band?" she'd be like, "Oh my God, The Misfits." Oh my God, Black Flag. She would be like, okay, she's fucking punk as fuck. Gaga's punk as fuck. You're punk as fuck if you wear a suit made of meat. You're punk as fuck. You're punk as fuck.
I listened to Lady Gaga for about 2 hours at work today. So Darrin, I really like your answer. Let's move to you, Mikey.
You know what's funny is before this whole thing when we started getting...
He's got the list.
Yeah, when we started making these videos, I did make this of just for fun.
Read it.
And then, list of people to play with before I die. And Joan Jett was the first one. Milo I put on it, and then he actually came on and did a couple of songs with us.
Yeah.
And then Billy Joe would be the next, the one that'll never happen. But if you want to talk ones that would be pretty incredible, that would be that.
Randy, you've rubbed elbows with Billy Joe before, right?
No, I don't talk to there's this thing like we're backstage or whatever. If he was standing around, I wouldn't even go talk to him just because I'd be like, oh, there's him, that guy.
He put out Dookie. I don't like Dookie.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, that's the guy. I wouldn't talk to him. I'd attack him. No, the rest of the guys in the band know him. Maybe something could be all right. Maybe something could be a seed can be planted somewhere.
Call Fletcher right now. Get him on the phone. Tell him to get Billy.
Yeah, Fletcher can talk to anyone and get anyone to do anything.
Yep. Hey Billy, you're going to be on.
Sounds about right.
This question, but who was the guy or girl that you met in your punk rock history that you were a little bit awe-inspired by?
So many. So many. Brett Gurewitz. I was freaked out when I played with Wayne Kramer. I mean, that was so many really, really amazing things have happened through just what I do is like, huh?
Have you met Iggy Pop?
No, that would be really cool. But also, well, first of all, he's like just overly iconic, right? Amazing. Right. But I'm so much older now. I'm just older, so I don't have such idolization. Like I basically ruined my life when I was a teenager because all my idols seemed like they were fuck ups, and I'm like, that's rad. That's in order to be great, you have to be a fuck up. So so now I'm a little bit beyond that. I'm on the other side of that, but well, I don't know what the point is, but I've had the chance to meet a lot of really, really great people that I idolize, and then I even get to play with them. Like like Darrin said, I'm playing with Hetson and Stan Lee. I used to listen to the Dickies every day, and I'm playing with Darrin from Goldfinger. I had put a post on Facebook. I didn't even know Darrin played the drums on the record. I didn't know what he did really because I didn't know him that well. I just remember him on the Warped Tour, like putting Twinkies in his ass and stuff like that. Maybe I'm not going to hang out with him. Seemed like it could get messy, right? Like his hands, it might be Twinkied up or something. But I put a post on Facebook saying, "Hello, Destiny." Was like, I love that album. And then Darrin, and I remember he responded, he goes, "Thanks a lot." And I was like, "Oh, you played on it." So anyways, yeah, I've been very fortunate. Just working my ass off because I love it. Didn't even realize I was working. Just play, work your ass off, say yes to everything that seems cool, and then figure it all out later and make it work. And I've just done that forever. And I've been just incredibly lucky. The stars have aligned. I've played with people that,
I got a question for Mikey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna become the interviewer
go for it.
Everyone's wearing that hat at some point. So
I know the answer because I've been part of this journey for a long time, but a lot of people might not know. Mikey, how did you go from being the guy that did a video a day during the pandemic early on, a simple little ukulele cover? What was the catalyst between, okay, I can't do this every day, to I might want to call some friends of mine and say, I'll get a drummer, I'll get a bass player, I'll get a guitar player, and we'll create something a little bit bigger. How was that catalyst?
It was around when I was doing the 100 in a row, it was around video 23 or something, where we just got the idea of sending it to my buddy Dean, and he put drums on first, and then I put ukulele on top. It slowly built like that. So it was like one other person, like, wow, this is really cool. Maybe we could add 2 other people. Maybe we could add 3 other people. But it wasn't until almost 100 full videos when we did the big epic ones. And that was, you were on the first one for that when we did Unity, number 97. That was
94.
94.
Number
sorry.
94.
Yeah, you would know. So number 94.
Good job, Michael.
Fact checker, Crusty.
Yeah.
The guy that I wanted to meet the most, I'm going back there, was Darrin. So hi, Darrin.
Oh, cool.
More kissies.
Oh, it's so gross when he does
because of that Wayne Gretzky song. That's why the Wayne Gretzky song he sang.
Oh yeah.
I actually want to roll this question around a bit because our host Mike Elfer is who would you want to play with? Because you are a multifaceted musician as well.
Well, really quickly, this is our I think our 37th Zoom interview that we've done, and I haven't brought it up once. Darrin having a Twinkie in his ass has been brought up 4 times. Not kidding. Not kidding.
Yes.
Actually, and just real quick, Mike, while we're on the topic of Darrin, something that Darrin, I can't believe you didn't post this the other day on my absolute favorite Darrin moment. When Conan O'Brien officially retired the other day, why wouldn't you have posted the clip of you flipping him on his head?
Because I'm embarrassed.
That was pretty amazing. I saw that.
It's incredible. It's so incredible.
But yeah, to answer Jeff's question, what I've learned, and this is not a burn on you guys or anything, but after interviewing, 37 different groups of people, I found that a lot of the people that I grew up idolizing are like so completely ordinary. And a lot of the people that I really, really grew up like idolizing their bands, I found out that now that their bands are like kaput, that they like work in gas stations and software companies like I do and stuff. It's grounding on one hand, but it's also just kind of fucking crazy. So, I don't know. I guess Jello Biafra would be fucking hilarious because I'm a fucking douchebag at like my 17th impression on someone. It takes a really long time for someone to find out that I'm like a real person with feelings and a little dog. So it'd be really fun meeting him and having him just be like, who's this fucking douchebag kid from Nebraska?
Hey, Mikey, we had this moment. We played a festival in Columbus, Ohio, and we're sitting on the bus, and all these guys are icons to me too.
Yeah.
Yellow was on the bus. Keith Morris was on the bus. Okay, so these guys, they have their characteristics and the way they talk. And Jack Grisham was on there, and Joe Escalante, and maybe someone else. And I was sitting there, and everyone was talking, and they were like a caricature of themselves, and I was tripping out. It was so awesome. So yeah, that's like that moment, just to have them there and just kind of watch and
I'd throw like
that's something we do at Punk Rock Bowling. Every year at Punk Rock Bowling we play. Well, not the last 2 years because of, obvious reasons. But every year at Punk Rock Bowling, we play this final show at the Country Club on Fremont Street. And we have a list of songs and people are going to sing. But every single year, there's 1 or 2 or 3 guys or gals that come up and go, I'm fucking blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. And I want to sing the Dead Kennedys. And it's usually Fat Mike. He'll come up and he will say, I'm going to sing the Dickies, Manny Mo and Jack. I'm going to sing Gigantor. And then I'm going to sing California Overalls. And the fans who signed up are on the side of the stage and they are so bummed. They're looking, they're like, fuck yeah. And they message us like, hey, my name is John Doe. And I was going to sing Manny Mo and Jack, but I didn't because fucking Fat Mike got up there and sang Manny Mo and Jack because what the fuck, he's Fat Mike. So whatever, it's cool. But like I waited all day to sing Manny Mo and Jack, but I can't because, Fat Mike, I'm just pissed. So we go, hey, look, we're really sorry. If you come to our show next year, we'll put you on the guest list and we guarantee you will sing Manny Mo and Jack. But the next year, here comes Jim Lindbergh singing Manny Mo and Jack.
That's great. No, I didn't think
that's funny.
And the guy's like, what the fuck? 2 years in a row. And it's one of the things you have to deal with Punk Rock Bowling and a band like Punk Rock Karaoke, when everybody converges on this one show, which is the last show of Punk Rock Bowling, the last show. Everybody funnels into this show. And by the way, there was one show where Randy showed up backstage and had a couple of with me and the band. Randy, do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we followed Fat Mike. We went with Fat Mike. Fat Mike had like 20 people behind him going there. I'm going to sing in punk rock karaoke. We all went down there and and witnessed that. But then I somehow made my way into the your guys' dressing room.
Because I was like, I'm having beers with Randy Bradbury. This is amazing.
I was kind of fun.
And you were like, hey, is it okay if I hang out? And I'm like, dude, of course you can hang out. I know who you are. Hang out. It's fucking great. You're like, hey, can I have a Bud Light? I'm like, dude, have whatever you want. Whatever you want. He's like, oh, okay. I don't want to be intrusive. I'm like, you are family. You're family here.
You are fucking Randy Bradbury.
Doesn't go very far, but it'll get you backstage at a punk rock karaoke show.
Yeah.
Little did I know that later I call him from the Dallas airport in my commute. Hey, Randy, you want to join this band? I
was doing a tour managing for a band in Toronto for a show, and the Addicts were headlining, and they wanted to rent a bunch of gear from the opening band because they had come from England and they didn't have anything, and that was the first time I met Monkey, and so before the show it was like Business Monkey. It was like a totally different guy. Like I've never met him before, and it was so serious, and I was like actually terrified of him. I was actually terrified of him. We worked out a deal and everything was great, and then the show happened. And after the show, it was like, oh, here's Party Monkey, and he was like the most amazing dude ever. It was pretty crazy day.
Monkey and Business Monkey, 2 monkeys.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Business Monkey got what he wanted.
He's really the guy on the planet. He comes to our shows. He came to our Corbin Bowl show and sang a song. He sang New Rose. He's just so nice, so pro.
Yeah.
By the way, it's really weird after, almost a year and a half of being in lockdown and being in quarantine and, being around people is bad. To be in a room with musicians and play songs with people singing, it does feel weird. Randy, I don't know about you, but it felt odd.
Yeah, like the whole last year was such a fucking, for lack of a better expression, it was a mind fuck among so many other things. And it felt special. That was a really fun show, but there were moments like, we're really doing this? Like everyone's just, it does feel odd, but I mean, it's worth fighting through it, to get back to doing what we love to do. So
were you more nervous when you first played a show again? Were you more nervous than you had been for a while to get back on stage?
Who are you asking?
Randy.
Oh, well, nervous. As far as do I know the song? Because it's a lot of songs. You don't never know when they're going to pick this weird song out of the corner that you never play. As far as nervous about being around people, I think to me, I feel that is a risk worth taking. Like I will do every single thing fearlessly. I mean, I don't want to be stupid. You got to be smart, but I think trying to get back to normal is worth the risk. And I'm all in. I'm in feet first. I'm in all the way. And because although there are real dangers and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But like I said, it's worth the risk to have as good a life as possible.
To Randy's point, you have to ask yourself this one question: would Johnny Lydon get vaccinated? He'd be like, "Fuck you, mate! Fuck you and your fucking vaccine! Stick it in your bum! Stick it in your bum!"
Hey Jeff, we got a teaser. Yeah. Hey Mikey, before I forget, I wanted to give you a moment to talk about your mom's blog, and I wanted you to.
Oh yeah, cool.
Pump your
mainly. I mean, my mom is just a massive fan of this whole Mikey and his Uke series, and I don't think a lot of people even know we have a website, but on the website, there's a section called Behind the Uke, and it's my mom she does features on each artist. Randy, you're on there. Darrin's on there. Michael Crusty's on there. Like she goes really in depth talking about all the artists that we've had be a part of the series. And I mean, even if this thing ends tomorrow, it's just really nice because it's like a nice journal for us to kind of have afterwards. But if anyone ever wants to go check it out, it's called Behind the Uke on the MikeyandHisUke.com webpage. And it's just she's written a lot of stuff and it's really cool.
Mikey, I got news for you.
Yeah.
I'm dating your mom.
Hey, that is really cool, Mikey. That's awesome. I don't even talk to my mom, so that's super rad.
On this platform that your mom has asked me to dinner, and I'm flying to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to walk over the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm taking to dinner. I hope you're okay with it.
Yeah, no, it's fine, Dad.
You okay? Are you calling me
Fine,
Dad? Calling me Dad already?
Rusty left.
Hey, Randy, you're in the video with my mom, actually. Do you remember in the Brohim video? She pops in. She's one of the woes.
Oh, dude.
See?
That's so rad. Okay, I'm gonna go watch it again. I want to
check it out. You'll see Mikey's mom pops up right in there. Crusty wrote it underneath just so everyone would know.